Hour of Facts Over Feelings as we celebrate the birthday of Malcolm X, who was taken from us 60 some years ago. I would like to welcome you all back. We are breaking records tonight. 350 people in this session right now, 10,000 people who have volunteered to join up for the Not Fucking Around Coalition Army. If you would like to help in some way, shape, form, or fashion, I will let you know that if you are not a fighter, if you are not a shooter, if you are none of those things, then we will find a purpose for you, because there's room for everybody to do something to take care of our own people. If you have not submitted your email address by now, please do not. We have stopped taking them for now. We have over 12,000 submissions of folks that are ready to stand the post with the weapon and face off with the police and anyone else who thinks that the black community is defenseless and that you can keep talking about us, walking about us, calling the police on us, just abusing us, and anything else I can think of. Just all kind of heinous shit. We're not playing that no more. People are fed up. And y'all don't think that we'll get organized on you. Watch us. So, if you're back for the second hour, you know that we were talking about HR House Resolution 6666, which is giving the government the authority to have folks come into your home and test you for COVID-19 and then quarantine you either in your house or take you or somebody in your house away. And then I showed you how it's all of the same people that you wouldn't let in your house no damn way. Everybody from the high school to the college to the church people and anybody else that they deemed is a source that can get the job done. I wonder if they'll give some of that grant money to the NFAC so we can go do some testing in some of the white suburbs, so we can go to the Rothschilds and all those folks. We can test them. We want to make sure that there's some even testing going on, because y'all not about to send a whole army full of folks that I don't fuck with into my neighborhood, into my house, talking about you gonna quarantine, bro. I'm sorry. I got to say this. No human being on earth has that kind of authority over this brother. I don't care what clothes you put on. I don't care what piece of metal you pin on you. I don't care what piece of your body you raised up in the air. That doesn't give you any authority over Yahweh's creation. You didn't make me, okay? You can't recreate me, which means you cannot. I can't say that to them? Okay, all right, okay. They telling me I'm going just a little too deep. Well, I'm giving too many jewels away. Just understand that they don't have any authority. I am that I am. I don't need you to tell me how I am. You understand what I'm saying to you? The last piece of this bill, before I get off of it, is what really blew my mind is what's on the very last page. On the very last page, it says that the authorization of appropriations to carry out this section, listen to this now. Before I say this, they gave you $1,200. They gave SBA people, what, 8,000, 9,000? Some people got 20,000. I heard somebody got 60,000. They gave all this money out to all of these people, right? Not enough for you to live off of through all the bullshit, but enough for you to say, I got a little something so they can draw you back out so you can actually get sick again. But here's the crazy part. 100,000. I want to make sure I read this right. They're authorizing 100 billion with a B, $100 billion just for fiscal year 2020 alone. If you don't know what the fiscal year is, the fiscal year is from October to October. Okay. $100 billion for fiscal year 2020. And then another $100 billion for fiscal year 2021. And then it says, and subsequent fiscal year during which the emergency period continues, which means that until that crazy ass man gets out of the White House or comes forward and says the emergency is over, they can keep renewing this shit. That means that they can run this program in what they call hot spots and underserved communities. Do y'all not see what they saying? They talking about you. Lock you in your goddamn house or take you to one of these FEMA camps for your own good. See, what y'all don't understand is they know you're not going to fight back. They know you're not going to fight back. because most of y'all are good citizens. I don't call you good citizens. I call you good subjects. Thomas Jefferson said that when you arm yourself, you go from being a subject to a citizen overnight. When we are down there out on these streets, you ever notice we got the subject in custody, right? But when they came down to Brunswick, they said we have armed citizens. You saw what happened? Because they know that we will fight for what we are. If you don't have no way to defend yourself, you're a subject. Now, subjects are subject to the crown. You're subject to the king. You're a subject. I don't want nobody here to be a subject. Black folks, we don't need no subjects. What we need are a bunch of citizens. Citizens who are prepared to defend what the fuck they are and not let nobody tell you what you are. Y'all stop sitting around letting people tell you what you are. Let me tell you something. I don't want to hear nobody else come running up on me talking about, well, you know, you people of color. Motherfucker, I'm not people of color. People of color are all the other people except black folks. People of color is the yellow man. People of color is the red man. People of color is the Latino man. I am the black man. I am not a people of color. Motherfucker, I am the color. Okay? Everything else is a derivative from me. When they say people of color, that is a one size fits all for them to be able to throw you in with everybody else. You see, it ain't people of color who need reparations. Black folks need reparations. It's not people of color who need land distribution. It's black people that need their 40 acres and a mule. It's not people of color that came here as slaves and still getting their ass handed to them and other people. It's people of color that have come here to pursue the American dream. So don't include us with people of fucking color. $100 billion. Yet y'all can't give us reparations. And y'all expect us to let a motherfucker come up in our house. Y'all kept wondering how we gonna get to martial law, huh? Well, the only good news is this. There is a process that every bill that is introduced on the floor of the Congress must go through. It has to go through the House, it has to go through the Senate, then it has to go to the president, and then it becomes a law. The reason I said y'all need to calm down is because this bill was just introduced. If you go up on the congress.gov website and look up HR 6666, you will find out that when Representative Bobby Rush, who is a Democrat from Illinois, introduced this bill, it has only been presented. It has not been discussed. It has not passed the House. It has not passed the Senate. It hasn't made it to the asshole's desk yet. So I would think that for all of the glaring violations of the Fourth Amendment that are in this, that it won't make it through discussion. So y'all calm the fuck down for a second. It ain't got that far, but be aware of it. Pick up the phone, call your local representative and say, I know damn well you're not going to vote for this shit to have these people in my damn house. That's what I'm telling you this for. If you want to play that game. But while we in the mood to talk about people that we need to call, oh, y'all know I was going to unpack this right here. Let us talk about Breonna Taylor. Y'all knew this was going to come to my desk. People made sure that I'm aware of this one. I need to wet my lips because it's about to get gooder and gooder in here, as my grandmother would say. In case you're not familiar with the situation, Breonna Taylor was a person who had no criminal record. Breonna Taylor was a young lady who had a job as an ENT for the city of Louisville, Kentucky. Breonna Taylor was a woman that had a boyfriend who also had a good job and no criminal record, even had a carry concealed license. Breonna Taylor was a woman that was minding her own goddamn business, was at her man's house, and they was having a black couple night when all of a sudden, without any warning, they had what's called a no-knock search. You know what that is? That is when they ain't got to knock on the door. They just come the fuck on in, which is one of the worst things about policing in America that they do. I don't have a problem telling y'all this. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was 1986. I was in Richmond, Virginia. I was visiting my mother. My mother had a very nice home with a big old lawn in the nice suburbs because she done came up from the projects. She taught her kids how to come up too. I was visiting with my mother and it was just the two of us in there, and I decided I was going to spend the night. About 12 o'clock at night, my Doberman pinscher looked at me and I said, what's wrong? As I was rolling a joint. I said, what is happening? I wasn't but 21. I was a young man. She said, yes. He said, there's somebody at the motherfucking door. So we go to the door. My mother had a peephole in the door. Y'all know back in the day, your mama had that furniture with the plastic on it, that room that you couldn't sit in. You had to go sit some goddamn way else. But we had the door in there. So I had to go and see who's at my mama's door at 12 o'clock at night. When I looked through the door, there was a man that I'd never seen before. And, of course, I'm not stupid. I didn't open the door. I said, what is it? Who is it? What do you want? He asked for my mother by name. Now, I know damn well my mother ain't have nobody come into her house this time of night. We don't play that shit around here. So I'm like, well, she's asleep right now. Who should I say came back? And the next thing I know, they kicked the whole door off the back of our house and kicked the front door into the living room. And my house immediately filled up with 25 motherfuckers in the same shit y'all saw me wearing out there in fucking Brunswick. They stormed the house. They came everywhere. They came through the windows. They came out the toilet. A niggas came down the chimney. It was so many goddamn people we didn't know what the fuck was going on. Me and my mother's like, what the hell is going on? And they sat us down and they had a warrant, and it comes to turn out they had the wrong damn house. The only difference was they didn't come in shooting. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here today. So I can relate to this particular situation. They went up in this girl's house at 12 o'clock like they always do. And if y'all don't know anything about police training, let me show you why they do that. The reason that they say they do that is to catch you off guard, so that you are off balance, so you cannot mount a defense. That normally works for a lot of people. But to go in to this girl's house in the middle of the night with a warrant, as we're going to find out, for someone who was already in custody, all they had to do was make a phone call and find out. But these gung-ho motherfuckers broke into the girl's house. They didn't identify themselves. It was in the middle of the motherfucking night. Now, y'all know how it is. If I'm laid up there with my boo, I don't have a boo right now, but if I had a boo, I'm laying up with my boo right now, and I hear some noise. I don't know whose it is. They call 911 and say somebody broke in our goddamn house. My man got the heat, and he goes like he's supposed to, black man. He goes to see what the fuck is going on. And when he does, he ends up confronting these 3 police officers that are in the house, unidentified, didn't say who the fuck they was or what they was doing there, looking like regular niggas. He thought it was a home invasion. He started shooting. Now, of course, he caught one, but they shot in the house from outside indiscriminately through the windows, and 8 of those shots hit Breonna. Her mother showed up down the street because she had heard something was going on. But when she got there and said, well, what's happening? My daughter lives down there. I need to go down there. And they said, no, just wait. You can go into the hospital. So she went to the hospital, and for 2 hours, 12 hours, they didn't tell her shit because they knew they had fucked up. Kenny was her boyfriend. Kenny said that they fired so much that he didn't even know what was happening. They fired 25 shots into that apartment, y'all. They shot so many holes in that apartment, they ended up shooting the house next door. Breonna got hit 8 times. Then they make the add insult to injury. They didn't want to turn around and charge Kenny with attempted murder on a police officer when this man was in his house defending himself legally. Instead of just admitting that y'all fucked up, y'all gonna try to now turn around. See, Louisville, the Commonwealth of Kentucky. See, this is why the Not Fucking Around Coalition had to be created for shit like this. You understand what I'm saying? This was a narcotics raid that went wrong. Now, somebody would say, well, what would be the appropriate thing to do, Jay? This is the appropriate thing for them to do. Number 1, they should issue a public apology to the family of this woman. And then they need to compensate them for her loss. $10 million. Then they need to drop all charges against Kenny and issue an apology to him. And then, maybe then, we wouldn't look at it to be so fucked up. Because this happened 2 months ago. Oh yeah, see, people say, well, it happened 2 months ago. Remember, quarantine, COVID-19, we was preoccupied. They thought they could get away with it. Not gonna happen, okay? The mother says that the police department ain't told her nothing. So I think that there's a few folks, since we contact tracing everybody, that we need to talk to. Well, first of all, there's Governor Andy Beshear. We need to give him a call. Y'all call him at 502-564-2611. Let me say that again. Y'all pick up the phone and dial 502-564-2611. Call Governor Andy Beshear and say, that fucked up what y'all did. Y'all need to fix that shit, or the Nfac will pay a visit to the Commonwealth of Kentucky. All the good old boys be happy to see us. And while you at it, call Thomas B. Wine. He's the Attorney General for the whole goddamn state. Oh, you can reach that motherfucker at 502-574-7660. I sound like a car commercial. 502-574-7660. Call that motherfucker and say you need to bring charges against these motherfucking officers. And while you at it, don't forget to call the police commissioner and the police chief. They all at the same goddamn number. Then make sure you call the members of the invasion team. You know, the 3 officers that's now on administrative leave after they killed this girl and shot her boyfriend. You can reach them at 502-574-7676. I called. Y'all called too. Oh, we ain't got nothing better to do. Y'all got us locked the fuck down. Make enough noise on the phone and make sure you let them know if y'all don't do something, y'all gonna see them boys. And if there's anybody who think I'm making a threat, we don't make threats at the NFAC. We make promises. Please believe me when I tell you that. Now, they are asked for the FBI. The police chief and the mayor have asked for the FBI to step in. I'm confused. Y'all help me out. If the mayor and the police chief have to ask the FBI to investigate some shit that their own people did, what the fuck is really going on here? Y'all don't have that kind of authority? What happened to your internal affairs? Or do y'all know that this is so crooked that most shit than a little bit gonna come out like what we found out down there in Brunswick? You see, Ahmaud Arbery just pulled back the layer of a raw onion that you can see all the dirt that's going on, that the police unit should have been disbanded 6 months ago, that everybody, that they got a new police chief because the other one is in jail, that they was down there getting prostitutes to interrogate witnesses. They were doing all kinds of shit. This was straight out of that TV show, The Heat of the Night. So of course they got to ask the FBI to step in because ain't nobody honest. And then the situation going on with Miss Breonna, ain't nobody being honest. Everybody trying to cover they ass. So this is what I'm going to say about the whole situation with Miss Taylor. And if someone wants to get a message to her family, see, I know you got those ambulance chase and get a check lawyers already. I'm glad that they're there. Get the bread up. But I don't think that under any circumstances that the Commonwealth of Kentucky can sit back and ignore what is obviously a blatant fuck up by your officers and a murder of this young lady, and then to turn around and try to criminalize her boyfriend is a blatant mistake. Now, y'all can make the phone calls. Y'all can sit there and try to talk to the congressman. You know McConnell, that racist motherfucker, that's his state. But if y'all don't want to see the NFAC come into your state, if y'all don't want white folks to have to put up with armed black folks patrolling your state, and let me tell you something, white people, since I know y'all here spying, we're not there for show. Shoot at us and we gonna shoot back. Understand, we're not coming because we come in to talk. If we have to show up, the talking is over. If we have to show up, negotiations have broken down. You can call us whatever the fuck you want, but you can call us what we are, a black militia, as it states under the Constitution of the United States. Y'all can form all these white militias. We can form a black one. I know the president can take charge of the militia in a time of an emergency, but he'll think twice if he knows there's a black militia, because normally there's only the white ones, so they can send them in to doing shit like protecting the border and shit like that. Y'all just remember, if I say we gonna strap up and meet up in Kentucky, I expect every last one of you motherfuckers to be there. and be ready for some action. I guarantee you somebody will get locked up. I guarantee you some charges will get filed. Because the last thing Billy Bob and the good old boys want is for Kunta Kinte and the Kool and the gang to pull up and heat shit up in country ass Kentucky. Louisville, are you listening? That's all I got on the case of Miss Breonna. Last but not least, before I go and bid you all the rest of your evening, I will say to you that if you are following me on this page and you want to share information of what we are doing, please be so and spread the word. A lot of folks don't know. They got their head in the sand. Some women are so concerned with just getting back to get their money to the Chinese that don't like them that they're not even aware of what the hell's going on out here. There are people today who don't even know that armed black men showed up in racist ass Georgia in the Ku Klux Klan face, and they were scared of us and backed down in 2020. They don't even know that. There's motherfuckers out here who more concerned with whether or not they new mixtape is gonna rock or whether or not they can battle a motherfucker on Instagram, rather than realizing, like I told y'all before, this is our time to unite. This is our time to organize. This is the time to use these platforms that y'all don't even have to pay for yet for us to organize our militia, for us to organize our teachers, for us to organize our money, for us to organize our governmental structure, for us to organize some type of a roadmap of where the fuck we gonna go. And if don't nobody else want to lead y'all, damn it, I'll do it. But I'm letting you know right now, I'm like Shaka Zulu. I'm the last one you want to lead y'all because I don't have a problem killing enemies that look like me. Now that I've said all of that, I want to give honor and praise to Yahweh. I want you to remember that nothing happens by accident. I am not here by accident. You weren't exposed to me by accident. But if you can't stop hating who you see in the mirror, then I'm the last person you want to be around. You see, I love my people unconditionally. I don't put conditions on love. You ain't got to do something for me to like you. I love you because you are what you are. I love you because you have the same blood as mine. I love you because you have melanin in your system. I love you because we can be as compassionate as we want to be and as fiery as we want. I love you because I have high racial esteem. See, I know our history. I know what we've done because they won't tell you. I know that we built things that they can't build. I know we tracked the moon and the stars in ways they couldn't. I know for a fact that we know how to use the earth to heal us. We know for a fact how to communion with the creator because we own that frequency. See, I love y'all because of all of that. I love my sisters because they're the only ones with the E gene. Every other race can only make themselves, but we can make any race. That's why they don't like us. I love all of my people, no matter how fucked up we might be sometimes, no matter how broken our families might be sometimes, no matter how poor our communities might be sometimes, no matter how confused our young men and women might be sometimes, they just need guidance and a blueprint. I know for a fact that when the tip of the spear shows up from Yahweh, all of you all have no doubt and no problem in following that. You know the truth when you hear it, and you know when somebody's blowing smoke up your ass. That's why I'm not asking you for money. I don't need your money. Can't y'all tell that I'm wealthy with an attitude? That's why I don't have the truth is to be told, not so. All the rest of these motherfuckers are pimping the goddamn game. All the rest of them trying to eat off of the movement while you never prosper. By this time next year, if we don't have a place that we can call our own, then we done something wrong. If I take 1 million armed people into DC, if we have a not fucking around coalition march, if we show America that we can get 1, 2, 3 million black folks to organize and arm up and protect ourselves, then we have moved somewhere. We ain't done none of that shit. And on this particular night, when it's Malcolm X's birthday, if you ain't done none of that shit and you call yourself being one of the people, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Stop letting white people speak for you. Isn't it amazing that every time black folks want to do something, there's always some white person that want to be at the head? No. We're going to do this on our own. We're going to do this by ourselves. We appreciate the offer, but we got this. You see, every time we work with y'all, your other half fucks us up. If you really want to make a difference, white folks, go talk to your people. If you really want to stop the police shooting, you go talk to your police. If you don't want us to go to war with these motherfuckers, you go talk to them. Because all y'all doing right now is taking educated, well well-financed, pissed off black people who didn't even believe in this shit, and y'all turning us against you. This used to be the United States of America. Now it ain't nothing but the crackers of America back in power, and we back in the fucking 60s. And I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear this and really don't want to admit it, but think about your children. Think about what they see going on right now. Think about how we look right now. Black men, think about how you looking right now. Y'all letting them punk us out. Y'all, they coming into the neighborhood, slamming motherfuckers down, 20, 30, y'all standing around taking pictures and shit because y'all scared. Scared of what? You shouldn't even be scared to go to jail no fucking more. We occupy the whole fucking jail. I already told y'all, if I needed an instant army, I would just bust out every motherfucker in every jail across America with the conclusion that I break you out, you fighting for me. I got an instant army. So stop being scared of these motherfuckers. This shit is getting on my nerves now. I done showed you how to do it. I have led you by example. I love y'all, but y'all a hard family to take care of. Now, to the white folks that are sitting there, I'm just not like them. Got you. Here's what I need you to do, white folks, since you decided to hang out with us. Well, only thing I need you to do, you see, here's where y'all go wrong. Y'all always talking about, well, I ain't never owned a slave. I never had nothing to do with that. Excuse me, I ain't never been a slave. Matter of fact, ain't nobody in my house ever been a slave. Just because you never have doesn't mean that you're still not profiting off of what the fuck they did. You still got all the money. You still got all the land. You still got all of us obeying your laws. You want to help us out? Reverse that shit. And on that note, I really hope that y'all have enjoyed your time with me. I really hope maybe you might have learned something tonight. I really hope that tomorrow when you get your invitation to the NFAC that you realize that that's just your first step. Before I put you on a corner with an automatic weapon and bulletproof vest and trust you not to start some shit that we have to answer for, you're going to go through some shit with us because we're all ex-military. We're going to square you right away. If you don't know how to shoot a gun, you're going to learn. If you don't know how to do first aid, you're going to learn. If you don't know how to use explosive ordnance, you're going to learn. If you don't know your rights as they're written, you're going to learn. If you don't know what you can and can't do when it comes to your Second Amendment rights and how to enforce them in your neighborhood, you're going to learn. Are you going to spend some time on the front lines with me? Oh, hell to the yes. Oh, I'm going to come down from the palace with you. Because if a bullet flies, I'm going to be the first one to fire back. And I want you to understand that. So you're not joining something. This is not a fad. This is not something you join just so you can say you did it. This ain't Black Lives Matter or none of that other bullshit that they use to brainwash you motherfuckers into not doing anything. And now that some shit is popping off, you don't see them no fucking where. I don't align with these folks. I align with my black folks. And I hope I haven't held you too long. I hope y'all come back and see me. I hope I haven't ran nobody off. I'll be back to see y'all again real soon. Just remember, the footsteps of the righteous are ordered by Yahweh. Nobody's here. It's here by accident. Okay? I want y'all also to take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And stop falling for the okie doke. Okay? Just remember, I don't know no other way to say this to you in a really nice way. My sisters and my brothers, all the old ones and the young ones, the ones who remember when we used to talk like this and the ones who glad we started to talk like this. For all the little young folks, the little ones that have called me up and said, you're the father figure I never had. For all the sisters that said, I've never felt so safe around the black man or heard a black man speak about us in such a way where he didn't want anything from us. He had none but love for us and wanted us to prosper. You see, this is the spirit that they killed in Malcolm X. This is the spirit that they want to kill in the black community. I am not that person. I am the embodiment of what happens when you physically oppress and depress people for 400 and some years and then keep telling them that everything is okay. Sooner or later, everything balances out, and it's balancing out in 2020. I hope y'all come back and see me. We facts over feelings. I'm Grandmaster Jay, and we're not fucking around. And I hope y'all not either. Spread the word. NFAC is in your face all day, every day. And like I said before, I got a dream too. And I told y'all what my dream is. So if you in one of those gangs, you can join us. If you a Blood or Crip or you one of those other, you can join us. If you in the Nation of Islam or Fruits of Islam, you can join us. If you are one of those people that's in the motorcycle gangs and all these other little fraternities, you can join us. If you are in a gun association or a gun club, you can join us. If you a bruh who just righteous and know what you want to do and a sister who want to make a difference, you can join us, because we're not joining them. And on that note, I see number fists and power to the people, black power to the people. Please just remember, just because I love my people doesn't mean that I hate all other people. I just want to love on my people. Sisters, bruh, love you. Bruh, I love you too. Stop being afraid to tell another brother you love you. Ain't no homo here. Okay? They call this toxic masculinity. No, this is black man. That's what that is. And you're not going to get rid of that. Sisters need that in their life. Children need that in their life. I don't see the white people talking about white toxic masculinity. Fuck out my face with that. I am the tip of the spear, and you all will follow. It's peace and love. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings. Shalom.